Howdy folks. So that line between stupid and clever is going to get really fuzzy with this project. I'm showing you my Martin backpacker guitar that I bought in 1993-ish or so. And I rode my bicycle around Europe with this stuck in a pannier pack in a plastic bag around it. And it's been abused ever since. It's been sitting for the last 5 years, it's been sitting in the wheel well of my pop-up camper. But I can't get rid of it because I've got too much sentimental value in it. But even after all that, it's time to do something different with it. As you can see, the side of it's already been caved in. It's got a crack in it. There's a big hollow dip underneath where the bridges started to pull up on it. And I'll tell you, despite all that, I picked it up off the wall just now and it's practically still in tune. The thing's kind of bulletproof. But I thought with all the practice I've had with my epoxy laminates and things, I'm going to dissect this thing apart. I'm going to reinforce the broken side here, maybe even with some carbon fiber and some epoxy. And I'm going to put a new soundboard on this, and I'm going to make something special, maybe even with some epoxy laminate and carbon fiber. Who knows? This is kind of a spontaneous spur-of-the-moment kind of thing. I'm going to have to try and pry the bridge off here, but see what we come up with. This should be fun. So the soundboard to the Martin guitar is about 2.5 millimeters thick. Nice and thin spruce soundboard. And in order to I don't think that epoxy is going to be appropriate for this if I want it to sound anything like an acoustic guitar. So I decided I was going to go the carbon fiber route. Now, a couple of years ago, I bought a bunch of stuff because I wanted to make a carbon fiber soundboard for an acoustic guitar. I never got around to using it, so I figured this is the perfect time to do it. Okay, so I'm about to start my first carbon fiber layup. Just for information, I did look up on Amazon. You can buy a carbon fiber sheet about the right size to fit the soundboard of this guitar for about 40 bucks. And with all the investments that I made in all these materials a while ago, this is not the most cost-effective way to go. But for an economy of scale, and if I wanted to build a bigger soundboard for a bigger guitar, I just wanted to figure out how to do this. So I've got my mold, which is a piece of glass. It's been treated with mold release wax. I've got my 3 layers of carbon fiber cut to the size it's just going to barely overlay the mold. And so I'm now going to mix up my epoxy. Now, when I weigh the fiberglass, it's about 4 ounces altogether. And according to my research, you need about the same amount of epoxy as the weight of the cloth that you're using. So I'm going to mix up 4 to 5 ounces of epoxy, and I'm going to use my standard craft epoxy that it's about 35-40 bucks a gallon on Amazon. And then on top of, once the 3 layers are laid out, on top of that will go a peel ply layer, which is a nylon cloth that's made for this purpose that lays right on top of the epoxy, and after it's cured, it will actually peel away from the epoxy without bonding to it. On top of the peel ply layer will be a breather layer that soaks up the excess resin and also allows the air in the vacuum bag to kind of distribute throughout the bag evenly. And then I've got this massive laundry style vacuum bag that you just take a household vacuum cleaner and put into the valve. It's a one-way valve, suck the air out of it and let it cure. So what could go wrong? So there you have it. I have the vacuum bag all sucked down, and actually with the household vacuum, and regardless of the ridiculously large size vacuum bag, seems to have done the appropriate job. It's sucked right down over the edges of the glass. So I'm going to call that a success, and we'll let that fully cure and pop it out of the bag and see how it looks. So now I've got the guitar in my leveling jig here so that I can clear out the leftover part of the old spruce top that was in there. to give me a nice level surface, leveling it off with the heel plate here. So next steps, I've got my carbon fiber sheet here. I'm going to put some painter's tape across here to hopefully try to protect the finished side of it. And then I'm going to map out the top on there, maybe cut off the extra. Probably going to use some of the extra carbon fiber to make the base plate for the bridge, and also right here underneath the sound hole, we'll cut in a sound hole for it. I think I'm going to just repeat and copy the bracing pattern, probably reuse the same wood pieces from the original bridge if I can, and we'll take it from there. So unfortunately, the storage ran out of my phone, so I didn't, the time lapse, I didn't get to finish showing all the video, but what I did here is I cut out the basic shape of the top and a sound hole in the carbon fiber. I then added reinforcements for under the bridge, and at the top, these are exactly what was on the reinforcements for the original. I did cut a couple of blanks for a new bridge out of oak that was just some hobby supply at Home Depot, actually. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to take the carbon fiber top and go ahead and glue it up on the top here, clamp it up, and then we'll have we'll form the bridge, measure out and space the bridge, drill it on, glue it in. So in this photo you can see in the sides where I added some carbon fiber to shore up the crack that was inside. Plus, I figured since while I was putting on the new soundboard, may as well throw a pickup on there too. So I got one of those very simple, very cheap piezo pickups, piezo. I never know how to pronounce that, so please don't yell at me in the comments for that. But I just wired it directly up to an end pin jack in the back of the guitar so I could have something to plug it into just for the fun of it and to give it a little upgrade. So here's the guitar after it's all rebuilt and looking nice and refinished. I did fix and reinforce that bashed inside. Now, the main mistake that I made when I built this is that I think I made the top way too thin. In fact, I don't think I'm any further ahead than when I started, because it's, as you can see, it's already kind of caved in and bowed up, and the bridge is starting to pull up because the top's just not thick enough. So I don't know if I've got the time to go back and rebuild it again, but it still sounds good. And for camping, things like that, I think I'll still use it. Now, I did add the piezo pickup in here, and I'll play it for you through my little 1-watt tube amp. There you go. So I think I'll have the backpack for probably another 20 years, and I might have to rebuild it again, but I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you ever want to lay up your own carbon fiber, you should give it a try. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't bother liking if you don't want to. Don't bother subscribing. I've got a real job. See you next time.